Ladies and gents and the rest, today we're going to be looking at talents of 3 units from Cenarium family, Bog Beast, Moonkin, oh my god, and the Ancient of War, the new sensation. But before we start, I want you to know that every single talent in this game is video demonstrated in the description below on the playlist. Alright, let's go. Ancient of War. Talent number 1, Sapling. If played for 4 gold or less, gain 60% attack speed. Alright, you're looking at the same gold cost for both of them. On the left side, the one with attack speed. On the right side, the one without attack speed. They finish at the same time, but they start in a different time. Talent number 2, Behemoth. If played for 6 gold or more, gain siege damage. What you are looking at right now is a Sneed's deck, and this Ancient of War has this talent which gives it siege damage, right? Let's take a look at what happens. Okay, we're getting closer. We're about to capture the Summoning Stone. We're capturing the Summoning Stone, and what happens? Nothing happens. You know why? Because adding the siege damage to this unit does not make it a siege damage. It's just a normal unit with the siege damage without the siege trait, which means even it cannot be used as a siege unit inside of a Sneed's deck. That's how... I have no idea what to say, but that is how it works. Talent number 3, Lightning Road. If played for 4 gold or more, redirect enemy spell and Unbound deploys to Ancient of War's current location. Okay, here's what it looks like. We throw an Earth Elemental in front of Witch Doctor and it redirects it to the Ancient of War. But let me show you a couple of things that we still can do even if we play against this Ancient of War. Here's our Ancient of War. Here's the bunch that we need to kill. If we cast our Deep Breath like that, or, I don't know, like that, doesn't matter how, it will be redirected to the Ancient of War, and it's gonna be cast like that. Like, it's gonna start from here, from the Ancient of War, and it's gonna be cast like in a random direction. Maybe like this, maybe like that, we don't know. However, if we cast Deep Breath from here ourselves instead of casting it randomly, so it comes here by the mechanic, right? We can direct Deep Breath ourselves wherever we want. So we can kind of kill this Banshee if the Banshee is close enough with our Deep Breath if we put it like this. Same thing. 1 second. Where is it? Let's say this is Blizzard. Blizzard's radius. If we cast Blizzard like this on the Banshee, it will be redirected on the Ancient of War like that. However, if we cast Blizzard like this, we can. Because as long as the Ancient of War is in the radius of Blizzard, Blizzard can be cast the way we want. Alright? So, for example, somebody throws Ancient of War, you can cast the Blizzard on the Ancient of War and you can catch the core, for example. Usually because everything starts from the core, right? So these are the few little things that you can do when you're playing against Ancient of War with this talent. Because it's a very strong talent. It's like new main event, right? Everybody's going crazy about it right now. So what do we take? It's kind of obvious, but I have to say it because I'm smart ass, right? Number 1 is Lightning Road. This is pretty much the reason why we need this unit at all. Amazing talent. The Unbound, anti-Maiev, anti-Jaina, da-da-da-da. Obviously, like I said, it's not ideal. It doesn't block everything, but, you know, it creates a lot of difficulty for the opposite side to play their unbounds and spells. So Lightning Road is 100% number 1. But what is number 2? I would say Sapling, because Behemoth is just completely worthless and useless. And I like, why would you play this unit for 6 gold and add siege damage to it? If you want a siege unit for 6 gold, you can just take Molten Giant. Why would you need this thing? I don't understand, because if you want something for cycling, you obviously take Sapling, right? With extra movement speed. Not that if it's useful, because from what I saw, from what you saw on on that clip, it's kind of useless anyway. It's like 1 gold, and it can't kill. It can't really kill anybody. It's super slow. It can be killed by Murlocs. Can be killed by anything, whether it's 1 gold or 2 gold. This extra 60% movement speed, I don't know what it's for, but I guess if you plan to use your Ancient of War only for cycling, you would take Sapling, I guess, right? It's 60% movement speed is better than Talentless, I guess. So number 1, Lightning Road, 100%. Number 2, Sapling. And number 3, Behemoth. Bog Beast. Number 1, Flourish. Heals received are 30% more effective. All right. On the left side, it's Talentless. On the right side, it's Flourish. So unfortunately, the footage is not ideally synchronized because it was really hard to do. But the point is that to show you how much more on the right side the shaman heals, right? I was going to include the footage with scenarios as well, but the healing that scenarios does is it's super pooper tiny per second, right? It's really hard to notice the difference. But yeah, it's just adds more. When somebody heals Bog Beast, it does 30% more healing, including spells and all the types of healers. Talent number 2, Rampant Growth. On death, root nearby enemies for 6 seconds. Here's what it looks like. That's exactly what it says. We're about to die. Boom! Here's what I want you to see. It roots these 2 footmen here. However, it doesn't root the shaman, even though the shaman is in the radius of the root. So let's keep watching, because I have another piece of footage where we do the exact same thing, but with the different units, with skeletons. So yeah, root works for 6 seconds. Obviously, it's affected by level difference. Okay, same thing. Watch. Bam. So for some reason, it rooted these 2 skeletons, but it didn't root these ones. Even though I think they are roughly as far as these skeletons from Bog Beast. I can't really explain that, because on the previous piece of footage, it didn't root the shaman, so I don't think there is a cap of number of targets that you can root. But at the same time, you see how it works, and my job is to demonstrate the talent, but I can't really explain why. So maybe I can see something. If I'm blind, again, you can correct me in the commentaries. It's still an amazing talent out of those 3, so it doesn't really matter. The small things. Maybe I'm just being too picky, probably. Talent number 3, Living Wood. Gain armor until 50% health. So we start the video. Okay, we are armored right now, as you can see. We are on full HP. We are still above 50%. Okay. Now we're not armored. We kill everybody and we start healing back to see if armored comes back if we go above 50% of health. All right. Boom, healing. Now we are definitely above 50% health, and armor does not come back, which means that armor only works until you get below 50%, and that's it. You will never see it again on this Bog Beast. Yeah. So what do we take? Well, number 1, 100% rampant growth, because it works with the scenario with the tree and talent with scenario. Sorry, tree and talent scenarios with tree and talent. It works really well. So you die, you root enemies. If scenarios kill something, it turns into tree end. So plus it's a 6 seconds of crowd control. It's an amazing talent, amazing. So out of these 3, Rampant growth, 100% number 1. Number 2, that's a question. I would take Flourish because let's say we take Living Wood. If somebody manages to bring this Bog Beast below 50%, we become talentless completely. That's it. Even if we're healed by scenarios behind, that's it. This is a talentless Bog Beast. Flourish, however, works all the time, right? So increased healing. Bog Beast is a king, like one of the best tanks against elemental units. So with a healer, with this increased heal, it can tank and live very long against elemental units. So we know exactly what we need this combo and unit for. With Living Wood, I don't know really. Maybe I'm going to be wrong as always, but this is my logic. I go Rampant growth number 1, Flourish number 2, Living Wood number 3. Moonkin. Talent, no. We'll go through talents, and when we get to what to pick session, I want you to listen to me very carefully in that section. But for now, let's talk about talents, okay? Talent number 1, Vengeance. Taking damage increases casting speed by 50% for 5 seconds. It took me a while to find something where you can actually test this talent. I finally did. Poison spiders. I'll be honest, I can barely see any difference between casting speeds, and I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, if somebody hits a Moonkin, that probably means that the Moonkin is about to die. Like, you have to be like, what? Yeah, if somebody blows up and poisons Moonkin for a little bit, then Moonkin is gonna, will give us value if we have this talent on it. But other than that, the use case for it is really hard to find. Talent number 2, Moonglow. Spells gain +2 levels if played immediately after Moonkin. Right, let's take a look. So we throw Moonkin, and our spell, which is Execute, is buffed. Now we're gonna get +2 levels on Execute. However, if we throw something else other than spell, this buff goes away, and we completely waste this talent. So it works exactly like Jaina's reduced gold cost talent. Don't forget. Talent number 3, Typhoon. Knock back nearby enemies on deploy. Here's what it looks like. Pretty small radius. Knocks back like that. This micro stun is affected by levels. The only good thing, as you can see, watch. Boom. It also knocks back flying units, which is a plus. Okay, what do we take? Before we start talking about what do we take, let me show you something. Right here, right in the unit's preview, it takes 5 seconds to kill the cheapest pack of skeletons. For a 4 gold cost unit, it's an insult. This unit is a complete piece of garbage. It does no damage, terrible mechanic. It's a scenarian unit, which means you can't really put it anywhere. Like I said, for 4 gold costs, it's just trash. Piece of trash. If you take, I don't know, 3 gold cost Pyromancer, she will do way better job, and she's much cheaper. She does everything better. Maybe she has less HP, but the value that she will give you is just, you can't even compare it. And it's pretty much the exact same type, right? It's a ranged unit, elemental damage, stuff like that. So alternatives for this unit are much better than this unit. Piece of trash. Like, don't even make it green. Like, you got 1 star, you got the tickets for in your scenario festival. That's it. Don't forget about this trash if you are tight on money, especially. We will never need this unit. But let's pretend that we live in the alternative reality where Blizzard does things correctly, and they found out about what I said, and they realized that I was right. It's not easy. No, it's not hard to realize. And they fixed this unit, and now it does, good damage. Or maybe it costs 3 gold or 2 with this damage. And now, what do we take in this case? Let's talk about that. So I would go with probably Moonglow as number 1, because this is the only talent that you can easily implement and that gives you like visible value. And you don't need Jaina for it, and it's almost like a little Jaina, right? Yeah, that's it. So number 1 is Moonglow. Number 2 is Typhoon, just because it's a little bit better than Vengeance. Again, you will not really need this unit for this talent, right? It's just because I have to make 1, 2, and 3, right? So Moonglow number 1, Typhoon number 2, Vengeance number 3, because I spent few seconds trying to see the difference between casting speed. Maybe there is some, but if I have to put effort to see the difference, it's probably not a good talent. So it's going to be number 3. Oh, that's it. That's all.